Welcome back to the Chammy, the only channel on YouTube where you can get a mostly professional tarot card reading from a haunted house in a creepy graveyard. Tonight's special is every reading is always buy one get one free on the weekends, so go ahead and check out the description. I'm going to go ahead and put a few things in the chat, in the comments, and then I guess we'll get started. And I'll do a free collective message and see if Spirit has any spirit messages for us today on January 25th, 2026. Can you believe it's been a whole month since Christmas? Doesn't really feel like it, does it? Feels like it's been longer or something. I don't know, it's like time and space have slowed down or something for me. So yeah, if you would like to get a love reading, it starts at $5. What you need to know right now about your love life. $7 taco box, you can ask up to 3 questions. $11.11 love reading. $20 past, present, future. $30 general reading. And you can also get an in-depth for $60. Everything you need to know is in the description. Everything you need to know is in the pinned comment that I'm about to put up. Please check out my music. There'll be a link to check out my music. Once again, let me remind you, this is not a tarot channel. This is a channel that belongs to a musician and artist. I am a musician and artist first, before I am a tarot card reader or spiritual advisor or grief counselor. So please don't get me wrong. This is not a tarot channel. Okay? I just do the tarot on the lives, as well as sometimes I do live music. So please don't mistake this channel for the other tarot channels, because this is not a tarot channel. This channel is about my life. My message is my life. Sometimes I do live music on the channel during the live streams. I hope that you find something you like. Every reading is buy one get one free tonight because it's the weekend, so check that out. Check out the link in the pinned comment to check out my music. If your questions are going through the chat within regards to your readings, go ahead and email me. Anything that you might want to ask about your reading or getting a reading, feel free to ask. Please stay on topic. Everything you need to know is in the description and the pinned comment. I'm just going to put a few things in chat, and then I'm going to do a free collective message, and we'll see if Spirit has something like that for us tonight. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat, Super Thanks. Hey, welcome to the haunted house. How are you tonight? We can get 5 subscribers. If we can get 5+ subscribers, I will open the live in the chat to free yes or no tarot. So please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Share the chat. You can pay through Super Chat, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Thank you so much, Christian. It's nice to meet you. Welcome to the haunted house. Everything you need to know is in the pinned comment or in the description. Check out my music. There's a link to it in the pinned comment. This is not a tarot channel. This is a musician and artist channel. This channel is about my life, and my life is my message. Sometimes I do live music on the live stream. Sometimes I do tarot. Sometimes I do both. And I hope you find something that you might enjoy here. If we can get 10+ likes, I will open the Spiritbox and turn it on, and we can ask it questions for free too. In fact, I'm going to get that in a minute so I can try to put that together and see if it'll work. I haven't been able to get it to work. But it's been incredibly active around the house today. It's been kind of creepy. The electricity was out for a while, but they got it going again. I don't know if there'll be any more power outages. Thank you so much for your like. I appreciate that. I can help you with love, family, career, protection, soulmate, twin flame. No sub, no like, no read. Be groovy or leave man. You can come back when you feel better. No posers, no jobbers, no frontin', no fear. That's a few of the rules here. Please don't make it weirder than it already is. I have a dark side. Don't make me use it. No free refunds, no e-checks, and no solicitation. I do not do health questions. No legal, financial, no pregnancy questions. This is not Madam Stormie's DNA testing. No timings, no cheating questions, no sex questions, and don't ask me when you're going to die. You're probably already dead inside anyways. Just kidding. Please stay on topic. Please no religion or politics unless I bring it up. I'm going to go ahead and do the free collective message now. If you have any questions about tarot card readings, if you have any questions about law of attraction, law of assumption, quantum physics, astrology, magic, witchcraft, spells, Christianity, paganism, metaphysics, please feel free to ask. I'm pretty sure myself or someone around here has an answer. Oh, where are those cards? I need to find those. Not yet. In fact, I'll put up the information about that right now. 5+ subscribers equals free yes/no tarot. 10+ likes and we'll do free Spiritbox Q&A. I don't do free readings. If you want to get a free reading, you can always buy one. All readings on the weekends are buy one, get one free. So if you buy the $5 reading, it's not so much you asking a question to the tarot. It's actually me asking what you need to know. If you want to ask the tarot questions, the readings start at $7. So you can get a $7 Lux Taco Box, ask up to 3 questions, 7+ minutes, 7+ cards. Whatever comes first. You can also get the 11/11 love reading, the $20 past, present, future, the $30 general, or the $60 in-depth. Every reading is buy one, get one free on the weekends. Thank you so much for your subscription. So I'll go ahead and check and see how many subscribers we've had in the last 10 minutes. Okay, so you are subscriber number 1 today. Thank you so much. How have you been today? Are you having a good day? If you have any questions about tarot, life, love, law of attraction, law of assumption, quantum physics, you know, spells, magic, Christianity, how that all works, feel free to ask. But the free yes or no questions are not available until we get 4+ more subscribers, okay? So 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I would need to have, it would have to be, right now I'm at 2333. So, and I do it this way because I used to do free yes or no, like and subscribe, and people would just come and get their yes or no questions. And they would not stick around. They would just subscribe to get the free yes or no answer. So I don't do free readings anymore. If you want to get a free reading, you can always buy a reading. If you can't do your free reading after your paid reading, I will note your username and take a note down that you have a free reading coming your way. All readings start at $5. You get 5+ minutes, 5+ cards, and I'll ask Spirit what you need to know right now about any topic you want to ask about other than sex, drugs, and cheating. I don't do pregnancy questions, no health questions, no timing, no legal, financial, okay? Check out my music. This is not a tarot channel. This is a channel that belongs to an artist and a musician. The message of the channel is pretty much about my life, so my life is my message. I do the live tarot on the live streams, as well as sometimes I do live music. If you'd like to check out my music, it's in the pinned comment. Oh, okay, so I see you've unsubscribed and left already, so I see that you're not really interested in being a genuine part of the community, so I'll go ahead and note that, and I'll give you about 5 minutes to respond. If you don't respond, I will hide you from the channel, because I see that you're not really interested in being a genuine part of the community, or really even getting to know me, or, I mean, unless you want to defend yourself now, you have about 5 minutes to explain yourself as to why you think I owe you anything for free just because you subscribe. Okay, it just doesn't work like that around here anymore. I'm sorry, I apologize. And I'm fantastic. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of other people who will answer your question for free. But if you'd really like to get real insight and stop running around from tarot card to tarot card reader because you're not getting results, let me know. I'm giving you 5 minutes. Hey Yang, how are you, sweetheart? It's so good to see you, sweetheart. How is life treating you, love? Are you in North Carolina? How's the weather? Hold on, my chat's all sticky. I gotta refresh. Oh no, your therapist is abandoning you. That's not good. hold on, love. Let me get, let me get back into the chat. One sec. Yes, happy hour's on. I just hadn't messaged you yet about it because I got lost in the leaving the comments and stuff, and then somebody was like trying to pressure me into giving them a free yes or no question, and I was trying to just explain to them that, you know, you could just buy a free reading by buying a reading, and that I would need 5+ more subscribers to do the free yes or no questions. So they unsubscribed because, I don't know. So I guess I don't want to be a true, genuine part of the community or even try to be, so they're probably just looking for free yes no questions. Okay, so your therapist is leaving because your insurance isn't accepting in her thing. Okay, so North Carolina where I'm at. Okay, alright, it's frozen with snow and lots of ice. So I'm just going to remove that to protect your privacy, okay, sweetheart? Yeah, she wanted to help me find another therapist, but I'm like, no, it's okay. Kind of tired of repeating the cycle with new therapists. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Was she prescribing you any medication? Okay, well, if you ever need a grief counseling session, you know, I do them. And every single grief counseling, it's just like tarot card reading. It's only $1 per minute. I'm surprised that she didn't at least give you an opportunity to say, hey, let me at least give you this opportunity to pay me when, as needed, you might need a therapy session. So I know you say that she's a good therapist and you've been with her for 1.5 years now, you think, but this is someone who has your diary of what's going on in your life. This is somebody who, you know, you feel connected and comfortable with. And I'm surprised that she didn't give you the opportunity to at least pay her as needed. I find that interesting. I almost feel like, is it that she really just doesn't want to work with you anymore? Or did you just not think to ask about that yet? And maybe she didn't either, you know? Oh. That's odd. That's really odd. Well, maybe this is Spirit's way of saying you don't need a therapist anymore. You know, you need to cultivate the wisdom that you learned from her and use it to your advantage to move forward. Do you see what I'm saying? It just makes me really confused that she would. I mean, how would the person she's even working under know? How would they know? How would they know that you were just calling her privately, or she was calling you privately to make an extra $40 on the site? They would never know. Unless she lives with that person. Or they're constantly monitoring her phone. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Think about it. If I was dating you and I said, well, I can't see you right now because I'm working under somebody else. And I can't hang out with you because I'm working with somebody else that, like, doesn't want me to right now. Like, but I really wanted to keep dating you. Like, how would that other person even know? I'm just kind of trying to put it in that kind of realm of things to, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would they not know? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand. It kind of just doesn't really make any sense to me that, well, let's ask AI. Or let's ask Google at least. A therapist working under mentorship, often called a prescribed licensed counselor, okay, that makes sense, associate or intern, cannot legally or ethically offer private cash paid sessions outside of their approved supervised setting due to strict licensing laws, liability insurance restrictions, and ethical codes designed to protect clients. So licensure requirements, so she must not be licensed. A therapist under mentorship is generally in process of accumulating hours for this license. In many jurisdictions, it is illegal to charge for professional counseling services without a license. Supervision mandate. The law requires pre-licensed therapists to have their cases reviewed by a licensed supervisor. But see, I still don't understand. Still, this whole legality thing doesn't make any sense. Like, I still don't understand why, at the end of the day, she can't just call you like a friend and be like, you know, I don't need to have legal permission to talk to you on the phone as a mentor or a tarot card. I mean, I have certification, but you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, that's interesting that you say that about the zombie apocalypse thing, because I had a dream a couple years ago about this kind of shit, and pardon my French, but I understand how you feel. I really do. Sorry, I just had to respond to Laura for a moment because she just, oh, and let me let her know that, so the power is back on and I'm doing a happy hour live. But yeah, the power's back on. It's all good. He's working. Puppies are fine. Dad's good. Love you. Okay, so your last session is with her on Monday. Have you thought of asking her, like, you know, when she'll be available for that? You might want to do that. You might want to ask her how much longer until she's available for that kind of thing. I mean, did you feel very connected to her? Have you ever felt like did you feel like, you know, that special connection where, I mean, if you did, then definitely, you know, ask her when, if you feel like, excuse me, that there's not somebody or something else or some, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, ask her. Oh, excuse me. You know, before I find another one, I definitely want to vet them well. Okay, that's good. That's good. Awesome. I'm going to do a free collective message. I'm just making sure all my cards are here. I think they're all here. Hey, thank you so much for the floating heart saying. I appreciate that, sweetheart. How much does something like 10 floating hearts, I mean, how much does something like 10 jewels cost you? Or is that like something they let you just click on and it just happens? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I've been really seriously thinking of, remember I told you I had to tell you a story? Because we talked about that Riley guy you like. Well, I'm going to tell you the story tonight. But first, I'm going to send you a text message so that you know who it is. So I can keep their name private. And I'm so tempted to send this person a message. But I'm just biting my nails and sitting on my hands at the same time. I'm biting my toenails and sitting at the same time. Just trying to make it laugh. I'm working on not biting my nails anymore, and I've never bitten my toenails. But with everything that's been happening, I wrote this person a letter 5 years ago and gave it to them, handed it to them. And they told me, you know, I read everything that you say online, and I listen to a lot of the stuff that you say because it helps. He goes, and I promise I'll read this letter. I read all your letters and I keep them. In that letter, I told this person the world is going to change very much in the next 5 years. I said, and it may be a very long time before we see each other. I'm like, we might not even recognize our country. We might not even recognize each other by the time it's all over with. And I really wanted to send this person a message and say, you know, I hope you read that letter, and I hope that you see now what I was telling you to prepare for. So I'm going to send you a text message real quick. Now, I did not know who this person was when I met them. I just thought they were just some random person, and I just loved their song so much. So, let me just send you, you might, hey, Metal Rain, I messaged Crystal, she saw my message but didn't respond. I take it she forgot to ask her friend. Well, don't worry, she'll come around. I haven't heard back from April yet. I'm pretty sure she'll come around when she gets a chance. Oh no. Let me just turn that off for a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and send you, you might not even know who they are, but 1 second. Okay, send in the text message now, Yang. Okay, let me find your text. There's so many texts here from everybody. Okay, there you are. Okay, let me know when you have that text message, Yang, and keep his name private and who he is private, please. Let me know when you have that text message. And we're going to talk about quantum physics, law of assumption, and this Riley guy who, you know, you can take my story and grow your thoughts with it. So, see, everybody's you pushed out. That's what I'm talking about, Metal Rain. Everything reflects back. Everything reflects back. That's what I'm talking about. That right there is an example of everybody as you pushed out. You start talking about someone, you start thinking about them, and they start messaging you. Or, you know, posting or showing up in some way or another. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, well, we'll try something else. We'll see if maybe you know some of the younger people from that generation of family. I'm going to send a couple of these movies over. Let me know if you've ever seen any of these movies. Man, these are all cult classic movies. You gotta watch, okay? If you, let me see, if you watch, so, Yes, you're right. He does. You're right. He does look kind of like Riley. Um, 1 second. I'll send you a picture and maybe you'll recognize. So now we're on the same page, correct? Yeah. Okay, good. Give me 1 second. Just looking for something real quick to send you. All right. All right, cool. We're on the same page. All right. So in 2009, my mother was having kidney failure. I took her to the hospital and she almost died, but they saved her life. All right. I am very happy in that picture. Well, because I'm with the, here. Let me just say this privately. So, you know, they saved her life. She got better, but she had to spend a week in the hospital. And, you know, she hated the hospital food at that specific hospital. It was pretty bad. She's like, hey, before you come visit me today, she was more coherent. She's like, can you go to the deli that I like and get me an eggplant sandwich? I'm like, sure, Mom, I can do that for you. Hey, Fiona. So let me turn the call center off so I don't get interrupted. So I'm like, yeah, sure, Mom. I can go to Harry's Farmer's Market and get you an eggplant sandwich from the deli because we like the eggplant sandwiches. They're pretty good. They put the eggplant on it fresh, if you like fresh eggplant, and then they put a nice big beautiful like robust mushroom on it and just some really beautiful like different lettuces like butter lettuce and a really nice like honey mustard thing on rye. I don't know, it was so good. So I got her one, got myself one. They'll even grill it for you. So then I got her sandwiches. When I was at the supermarket, there was this song playing over the speaker, and I was like, I'm really feeling this song deeply. Like, I gotta find out who this songwriter is or I'm going to die. I gotta find out what this song is so I can go to the hospital and play it for my mom, because the lyrics just really resonated with my heart and my soul and my mind and comforted me in a time where I almost lost my mom, and it made me realize how much I loved my mom and my parents, and how genuine I felt about making sure that they were happy, healthy, and safe. And so I went home. I made the way that I remember songs so I won't forget them is I'll listen to the chorus, because usually a songwriter is going to name the song from a lyric from the chorus usually. Like when you listen to Brad Paisley's The Perfect Storm, it's easy to find the song title because of the chorus, of course, talks about the storm. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to YouTube, and I had my laptop already because I knew I was going to spend all day at the hospital with her until it was time to go pick up Dad from work, and I knew I was going to watch Bleach anime and probably fall asleep and have lunch with her and everything like that. So while I was at the hospital with her, I looked up what song does this lyric line from this chorus of this song come from. So it was like, oh, it's by this band, we won't say the name or the person. And I was like, oh, wow, cool. I'm going to go check out that songwriter. And then I listened to another song, and I listened to another song, and I listened to another song. I was like, oh my God, this song's totally resonating with me. And I was just so happy to like have found that song, and it is like one of my top favorite 5 songs. And I played it for my mom, and she cried, and we cried, and you know, she got better, brought her home, and then I followed him on YouTube here and just kind of like watched his stories and watched his videos, and then like he, you know, would talk about his music and stuff like that, and that went on for several years. We also tried to meet each other several times, but we were kind of like two ships in the night. It was either like really bad weather, or a show got canceled because of weather, or something was wrong with my car, or, and I just figured, okay, maybe it's just not the right time to meet. So, but we still stayed in touch. We still stayed in contact. And then finally, we met. And we met on 11/11/11. How crazy is that? And I just felt like, well, I'm gonna meet this person, and I'm just so excited that I'm gonna get to finally meet them. So I meet him, and the first thing he says to me is "finally," and he gives me this big, huge, warm hug. And my mom was with me, and he was so wonderful to her. I was just so surprised that he sat there for the longest time and held her hand, and they talked about music and life and everything. And here's my mom in a wheelchair, and I was just like, yeah, he's the one. And it really was a beautiful connection, beautiful friendship, and I didn't even have to try. But it wasn't until after I realized where this person was coming from that it kind of became a little bit more difficult. Not difficult with our connection or anything like that, but I had to overcome my limiting beliefs and circumstances and fears, whatever they might have been. All right, but I worked on them, and he helped me work on them, and I'm pretty sure there are certain aspects about the things that I've said that has helped him as well. At least I hope they're helping him today. And I just felt like, you know, what a blessing, because I changed my mind. See, I changed my mind about my worth. And when I changed my mind about my worth, it really opened doors to a lot of wonderful things that have happened to me in the last decade, Yang. So just because this person that you like is a certain status quo within, you know, our community here in America, or in the Southeast, I'm not really sure where he is. I assume that he's in Nashville, the guy that you like, or maybe, you know, the Southeast. I don't know. Maybe you know. I didn't really look further into him, but anything is possible. Okay, you could end up, this guy that you like, you could end up good friends. You could end up lovers. You could end up girlfriend and boyfriend. You could end up dating. You could end up husband and wife. But it's up to you as to what you want. How far are you willing to go to work on yourself and your self-worth through this kind of gift you've been given, and realizing that you like somebody like this, that you could care about somebody like this. I say, like, it was the same for me in the beginning. So what I'm stating to you is, you know, this is not the only person I've had this connection with. Now I'm going to send you one more private thing. Let me know if you know this person. So, of course, everybody knows who that is. If you don't know who that is, that's fine. There might have been other movies or songs that you might know that I can point out. So I've wanted to make a record for years, but I've sort of just kind of held off, because I noticed that putting out singles were more viable and more interesting than putting out a whole volume of music, despite having 6 or 7 records I've written. And I figured, well, you know, maybe I could just ask the universe to bring some people into my life to help me with that kind of thing, and I wouldn't have to do it all alone, because I pretty much, everything that you see on the channel that's original music or even covers I've done, I've just done it all by myself. except for some of the scratch tracks from my band, like Living Loud, Hands. I don't know if I put Castle Dark on the. Maybe I put a few kind of like, minuscule few seconds of Castle Dark. Anything that's not with a live band was always just me by myself. So, I've been for a really long time, like too long. Like I don't know what's blocking me. Why is it not clicking? I've wanted to make this record with this person. So, and even if they were involved, I wanted to make the record anyways. But I decided to change the story a little bit. So I had just learned more in depth about the law of attraction in regards to my situation. And so that's when I really experimented with the law of attraction, because it was like, oh, I want to make a record with them. But, then all your limiting beliefs and circumstances start coming up, Wow, I feel the same way. I felt the same way a lot of times. But then when I started to notice the fear, what is the fear? What does that fear look like compared to the opportunities or the options? The fear was looking good to walk through to get to the other side. It's six of one, half a dozen of another. Can you live for the rest of your life being scared to become better than what you are right now? You have to ask yourself that. Would it really hurt you to become better than what you are? Especially when it could only make it better? Okay, so you know who that is. So, at this point, despite limiting beliefs and circumstances, this is my cosmic brother. And, no prison will hold our movement down. And I feel very much about that situation. Like, I know that this person understands quantum physics. I know that they're highly, ideally intellect. And I feel like at the end of the day, there is a whole lot that even without lifting a finger, I have created with my thoughts a compassionate, kind, and loving connection through love with this person. Something that is unshakable, and something that is also unspoken. And when he says nothing, I know he's really saying something. So at the end of the day, I'm just a girl from Georgia out here on my own. I didn't have to try. I just did. And doing was being my true authentic self. Whether I was fat, skinny, bald, had a lot of hair, was self-hating or not. I have found through these people that, not all hope is lost. And I have found through these people who have also nurtured me back that, you really can have, be, and do whatever you want. And that you really can create the connections that you want through people, through love. But it all starts in the mind. It all starts with your thoughts creating. And following that logic and allowing your heart to be open to maybe the experiences or the limiting beliefs or circumstances you might discover about yourself, whether it be through dreams or just self-talk, like, how we talk to ourselves in our heads about things. But never in all my life did I ever expect what I have accomplished through changing my mind and my worth and my thoughts about my worth. And that's why, people can try to talk down to me. People can say terrible things about me. People can troll me all day long from other channels. It really, at the end of the day, doesn't move me or shake my spirit, because I am unshakable. People want to actually hear my voice, okay? People actually want to hear what I have to say, whether it be through my music or this channel. Whereas not everybody is really thinking twice about maybe wanting to hear that kind of stuff or hear anything from those kind of troll people. Do you understand what I'm saying, Yang? We talked about this before. I'm pretty sure other people who are sitting here know what I'm talking about. So you have a voice and you should use it. All right? Everyone's voice is important. It just depends on how you use it and whether it's important or not at the end of the day. And that is why, you know, people can say I have no talent, that I'm this or that, and it just doesn't faze me because I know who I am at the end of the day and who I'm going to be when I get to the end of me. And I'm happy with that. Thank you, Metal Rain. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. So, baby steps to getting to that point where you aren't afraid to work on, to be better, to become better than what you are. Will your life change a lot overnight? No. I feel like becoming better than who you are, like I struggle and strive to become better than who I am right now every day. Will your life change overnight because of it? Not really. I think it will be a pace that you will take, a journey you will take your whole life going through and experiencing. And I also feel like a lot of people will say, I really feel like a lot of people will say, well, you can't understand that unless you've experienced, but that's also not true. I think that people have empathy and enough apathy to understand and communicate, even if they haven't experienced something, to understand it and, to still be able to have still highly intellectual conversations while they're learning about something or doing something, or, you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to tell you something about this next thing I'm telling you in text. So that particular incident I just told you about happened for absolutely no reason other than jealousy. Okay, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, Metal Rain's going through it, but we're going to take care of that bitch and make sure Gemma's safe at the end of the day. So, yeah, so there was no reason for her to have done that. We only talked to each other when we were face to face. Maybe sometimes we would send each other a nice message or chat a little bit privately, but never anything rude or inappropriate. She did not have a reason to feel that way towards me, unless she knew something about him at the end of the day that I maybe didn't know or didn't realize. Maybe he talked about me too much. Maybe he watched my stuff too much. Maybe he, I don't know. I don't know, but at the end of the day, how did she know who I was? B, why would she do something like that? And every day I cry about it. I did talk to a mental health grief counselor this week about it. His sessions are incredibly way too expensive for me because he does them weekly. Instead of just being like, oh, you want to be a client, it's going to be $55 for an hour or whatever if you want a session privately. But he said that I'm boiling over. and that I need people to talk to about it. But I don't really understand my assignment because, you know, I've talked to my dad, who was a witness. I talked to my roommate, who was a witness. Okay. And I've talked to several people here on the Chammy about it. I've talked to some other friends privately about it. And I just don't understand what because he gives you an assignment. I just don't understand what he means by I need people to talk to about all this stuff that I'm boiling over about. Because I'm not really one of these people that does a lot of, you know, bitching, moaning, and whining publicly about the things I've been through. Many of the things that are, I mean, he literally said what I've been through is brutal. And he's right, it is brutal. But I just don't know if I'm willing to talk about it, you know, publicly and privately are just very different. Well, maybe, I don't know. I think that he's telling me that I need to talk to people about it on social media because you know, I'm going through my own thing where it's like I sit around and wonder, are there other victims? I sit around and wonder, you know, is he some kind of victim? I wonder about a girl who was around him many years ago that committed suicide. Was she a victim and he didn't realize it? I worry about the people around him who she's had multiple decades to manipulate. You don't just do what she did to somebody because of no reason. You do it because you're a complete psychopath. You see what I'm saying? You do it because you're sociopathic or you have some kind of condition that's absolutely psychotic. I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't, I can't fathom it, and I don't know that I'll ever get over it yet. So, you know, you're absolutely right. She did. You're right. She did it out of spite. At a time in my life when my mother had just been murdered. Not that she knew that, but maybe she did. I don't know. So, at the end of the day, he finally asked, you know, what happened? Because he noticed what was happening with this. And I told him. But I didn't tell him who did it. I had medical testing, multiple upon multiple medical testing, blood work, samples taken, things like that. I actually took the dress I was wearing to have it evaluated, despite the fact that him, my father, and my roommate had noticed this particular stuff all over my clothes and had brushed it off. There was still some residue left. So I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, oh, what are these ingredients in this, on this, what makes this combination of ingredients together? Looked it up, found out what it was. I'm like, that's why she did what she did. Because if you meet somebody, you're not just going to go and touch their hair. You're not just going to, and the way that she did, it was just so fucked up, Yang. Today, Fiona reported her for oh yeah, he reported her, yeah. Eliana has completely fucked Metal Rain over, and absolutely out of spite as well, I'm pretty sure. But at the end of the day, Yang, it's like, now it's like I'm manifesting every day, of course, my own safety and well-being, but as well as this other person that I care about safety and well-being. It took me 10 years to tell him the truth. Because how do you tell someone that you love, cherish, respect, and honor that someone they supposedly love, cherish, respect, and honor did this to you? I couldn't live with myself if I hadn't told him. I was going to, like, throw myself off the roof had I not. And I wanted to tell him face to face, Yang. Because I was scared to just leave it in a text or on a voice message, but eventually I could not take it anymore. And I was going to cut my own heart out over it had I not just left the voice message. So I left the voice message, and I got left on scene. Then he tried to contact me several times. I wasn't sure if it was him or her. So I just let it be. And to this day, I'm still creating, you know, a wholesome, happy, loving, and caring ending to this situation. Well, I've often thought, like, I've often kicked myself in the ass and hated myself for not reporting it to the police. And the reason I didn't report it to the police is because how do you report somebody who's famous who's assaulted you? We already know how that works. No one believes you when you're a nobody, and a girl with no name especially. You know, and I made sure when I told him that, you know, I'm not seeking revenge. I'm not seeking to harm or hurt. I said an apology would be nice. But I've never reported it to the police. I should have called the county she lives in and reported it to them as well. And sometimes I want to. Sometimes I want to. I don't always do so well because of the situation at hand. But I did eventually tell him because I was going to cut my own heart out. It's the most horrible feeling in the world to, you know, I don't know what to do about it anymore. I just hope that he's not a victim of it too. You know, I hope she's not like driving around drunk with the kids in the car and him too. I hope that, you know, I hope that he's got like some kind of control over the situation where he knows, you know. Maybe you're right, Dre. It's just the most awful feeling to have to tell someone that you love, cherish, and respect that someone that they feel that way about did that to you. So I want to just let you know, yay, this guy that you like, you can have be and do whatever you want with him too. Don't look at yourself like you're just some common person that doesn't deserve it. Whatever it is that you want with him just because he's popular with his music or whatever. You just hold that love in your heart for that person as much as you can. Have fun and let your imagination run free. Because what it's going to do, the more that you do that, it's going to compel what you want towards you. And you never know. I mean, he may just be right around the corner. Yeah, let's hope it's not like that, because at the end of the day, it's these, and this is why I reached out to this grief counselor earlier this week, because it was like, wow, you know, I'm sitting here thinking like about this every day, most of the time, and I shouldn't be, but it hurts, you know, it hurts too. But I like I said, I keep assuming that everything, you know, will work out in my favor in this situation, and that this person I care about is safe, and that his children are safe, and that his family is safe despite the situation. You know, when, you know, how do you go up against somebody who, you know, is such a famous person and, you know, wins awards and does all these famous covers for magazines and shit like that, and you're just nobody. You're just some nobody with no name. It's you know, and it's not like I want to ruin their lives or her life, okay? But it's literally ruined my life, and I'm just trying to make the best of it. And I will make the best of it, and I will overcome it, and I will grow my hair back, and I have overcome a lot of the things that, you know, I was going through regarding how sick what happened to me made me. I mean, yeah, sometimes still I have issues with my hair, but at least it grows. You know, at least it's growing back, whereas there were about 2-3 years there I didn't have anything. Can you imagine having 40 inches of virgin hair and it is melting off your scalp for years? It took about 18 months for it to grow back. But we're talking 18 months to just start sprouting new roots. Ugh. You're right. You're very right about that. They are living rent-free in my head and literally driving my... Yeah, you're so right. Because I care so much. And I have been trying to, like, pull myself out of that and pull myself away from that so that I can, you know, overcome it. Thank you for saying that, Yang. It's like, that's all I want to hear from them. That's all I want to hear from them is that I'm sorry. I just don't understand why it's so hard to say I'm sorry to someone you hurt. It's almost as if it would be demeaning to them. So then what do you do when you love a person and you love their art and you love their music and you respect them and you cherish them, but they can't even say they're sorry that happened to you? What kind of person does that make them at the end of the day? So you see that I'm in my head trying to make it right for me in hopes of getting the I'm sorry. Although I know I'm probably, you know, well, that's probably a limiting belief in circumstance, so I'm not going to say that. But we're going on year 11 here. And I'm still crying about it every day. It's like, what is wrong with me? Yes, I do have complex PTSD. But at the same time, like, you know, I shouldn't be dwelling on it. I shouldn't be dwelling on it. Yeah, I may not get that. Okay, sure, guess 666. You can kick yourself out. That's fine. Come back when you feel better. So, when you think about the person that you like, what would you want him to know about you, think about you, like about you? How would you like him to treat you? How would you maybe like to meet this person or meet this person again? Where do you want to go with this, Yang? Because this can be a very special thing for you. All right? Well, that's interesting that you say that about going crazy about someone who isn't thinking about you, because being an intuitive psychic, you know, I know that. I very much know that and respect what you're saying. But I also know how quantum physics works, as well as the law of assumption. And when you are thinking about somebody, they're sending their signal out to you somehow, some way. That's why, I mean, telling yourself that does make you feel better. Can't think about someone who's not thinking about me. But I'm at 5%, so I'm going to have to go soon. But you have to understand that your thoughts create. When you start thinking about someone or you start getting that vibe that they might be thinking about you, they are. And it's weird. You know, there's multiple realities, though. There's multiple realities, like I've said before, right? So we've got all these different realities. We've got the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, here's the Sun, you know? So here's the Sun, and the Sun, here's the Sun and the High Priestess and the Death card, and we've got the stars revolving around all this crap going on Earth, right? But, you know, once again, you get to choose your reality that you live. There's simultaneous realities, but once you become aware of one, that's what sticks. So because I am so aware of the pain and the sorrow, I'm not able to get past it. Well, I'm getting past it. I mean, I feel like I've stepped into the void of the unknown. And I'm actually, you know, working towards a different reality regarding that situation. Maybe even possibly the reality that I want, where everything works out in my favor, like we just talked about. But, you know, still I have to work through those things. And I bet you that he probably will dream about you, and then he'll wonder, who is that girl? Because now that you sent the message out, I bet you'll have a dream about him, and he'll have a dream about you. And see, we sometimes we will dream about people we don't know, and they come into our lives, or we dream about people we haven't met yet, who we know of, and they come into our lives in some way. But remember, your thoughts create. So, where do you want to take this love story? I've had, you know, wonderful dreams about the person we just talked about. In fact, both of them, that have helped nurture me and guide me towards a better reality and a better day. See, the wonderful thing about my situation with the person I just told you about and the hair thing is that that person's music helps me get out of bed in the morning. So there is this whole negative aspect, but there's still so much positive and nurturing and wonderfulness about it that I can't let go of. You know, I can't let one evil person destroy all the good of another in my thoughts and heart. I just can't do it. Especially when I know how genuinely in his heart he does care about me and did care about the situation. But it just might be difficult, just as difficult for him as it is for me, and painful. Because when you love somebody, you don't really let that go. You're probably going to always love them until the day you die, even if it's just like a fleeting love and not a passionate. You know what I mean? You stay strong too, honey. You guys, I'm only at 3%, but I'll be back at midnight if the power permits it. So, oh, wait, is it midnight? Oh, wait, it's 10:30, so I have some time to charge the iPad, and I hope so. I hope so. All right, I'm going to peace out because I need to go. I will put on the Spiritbox on the next live. We've got 15 likes, but I'm only at like 3% right now, so I can't do the live. Hey, Brianna, welcome to the channel. I'm just getting ready to log out because the iPad's about to die. Anyways, I'll see you guys at midnight Eastern Standard Time. If you're around, please come by, like, subscribe, check out my music. It's in the pinned comment. All right, I'll see you at 9 your time, Metal Rain. Be good to yourself with your thoughts. Mwah. Kalanita, music is sacred and no prison will hold.